Welcome to Linguaverse. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bonjour à tous et bienvenue. Hello everyone and welcome back. Je m'appelle Avery.
Et moi, c'est Mélodie. Welcome to episode 7 of our French learning podcast. We're so happy to have you with us.
In our last episode, we learned how to make plans and talk about the near future using that super useful phrase, je vais, meaning I am going to.
That's right. It was all about organizing what we are going to do. So today, let's imagine that we've made those plans, we've traveled, and we've finally arrived at our destination.
Exactly. So what's one of the first things you have to do when you arrive in a new city for a trip?
You check into your hotel, of course. So today, our entire episode is about arriving. We're going to learn all the key phrases you need to check into a hotel in French.
It's such a practical skill. We'll also cover how to ask important questions like about breakfast or Wi-Fi, and even how to handle a common problem, or as they say in French, un petit problème.
Let's start with a simple, classic check-in conversation. I'll be the guest, and Avery will be the hotel receptionist. Écoutez bien. Listen carefully.
Bonjour, madame.
Bonjour. J'ai une réservation au nom de Mélodie.
Oui, Mélodie. Pour 2 nuits. Voici votre clé. C'est la chambre 204.
Merci. Le petit déjeuner, c'est à quelle heure?
C'est de 7 heures à 10 heures.
Parfait. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, a short and successful check-in. Now let's break it down line by line to understand every part.
Right, so I started with the most important phrase. J'ai une réservation au nom de Mélodie.
This means I have a reservation under the name of Melody. J'ai means I have. Une réservation is a reservation, easy to remember. And au nom de means under the name of. This is your key sentence.
Exactly. Then you found it and said pour 2 nuits, which means for 2 nights. Nuit is the French word for night.
And then I said, voici votre clé. This means here is your key. Voici is a useful word for presenting something. Here is. And clé is key. Notice I used votre, the formal way to say your, because it's a professional situation.
And my room number was La Chambre 204, room 204. Then I asked a very important question. Le petit déjeuner, c'est à quelle heure?
Right. Breakfast, what time is it? Le petit déjeuner means breakfast, and we learned à quelle heure in a previous episode. It means at what time, a super useful question to ask.
And the answer was c'est de 7 heures à 10 heures, meaning it's from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The structure de à means from to.
Excellent. Now, in any interaction, it's crucial to be polite, so let's quickly cover some essential polite expressions.
Of course, the basics are s'il vous plaît for please and merci for thank you. You can never use them too much.
To get someone's attention or to apologize for bothering them, you can say excusez-moi. It means excuse me.
And another very polite and useful phrase is je voudrais. It means I would like. It's much softer and more polite than saying je veux, which means I want.
So you could combine them. Excusez-moi, je voudrais une clé, s'il vous plaît. Excuse me, I would like a key, please.
Perfect. Okay, are you ready to practice speaking? It's time for our pause and repeat section. Say the phrases out loud after us.
J'ai une réservation.
J'ai une réservation.
Voici votre clé.
Voici votre clé.
Le petit déjeuner, c'est à quelle heure?
Le petit déjeuner, c'est à quelle heure?
Je voudrais le mot de passe du Wi-Fi, s'il vous plaît.
Je voudrais le mot de passe du Wi-Fi, s'il vous plaît.
Excellent. Le mot de passe du Wi-Fi means the Wi-Fi password, a very important phrase these days.
Totally. Now, what happens if something goes wrong? It's good to be prepared. Let's learn how to talk about some common problems.
First, the general phrase to say there is a problem is il y a un problème. Let's repeat that. Il y a un problème.
Now, a really useful little phrase for things that aren't functioning is ne marche pas. It literally means doesn't walk, but we use it for doesn't work.
Right. So, for example, with the key, la clé, you would say, la clé ne marche pas. The key doesn't work.
Or for the Wi-Fi, le Wi-Fi. Le Wi-Fi ne marche pas.
What if it's noisy? The word for noise is le bruit. You could say, il y a du bruit. There's some noise.
And one more for the shower, la douche. A common problem is no hot water. You'd say, il n'y a pas d'eau chaude. There is no hot water.
Let's see this in a mini conversation. Melody, you're the guest with a problem.
Excusez-moi, il y a un problème.
Oui, qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
La clé de ma chambre ne marche pas.
D'accord, je vous donne une autre clé. Voilà.
Merci beaucoup.
Simple and effective. The receptionist asked, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Which is a friendly way of saying, what's the matter? And I offered une autre clé, which means another key.
Okay, I think we're ready to put it all together now. Let's listen to a longer conversation that combines the check-in with asking questions and even reporting a small problem. This time, Avery is the guest.
Bonjour, j'ai une réservation pour une nuit au nom de Avery.
Bonjour, monsieur Avery. Oui, je vois. Une chambre simple. Voici la clé. C'est la chambre 405, au 4e étage.
Merci. Est-ce que le Wi-Fi est gratuit?
Oui, bien sûr. Le mot de passe est sur le bureau dans la chambre.
Parfait. Une autre question, s'il vous plaît. La piscine, elle ferme à quelle heure?
Elle est ouverte jusqu'à 20 heures.
D'accord, merci. Excusez-moi, je suis dans la chambre 405 et le Wi-Fi ne marche pas.
Ah, d'accord. Je vais vérifier. Un instant, s'il vous plaît.
Okay, there was a lot in there. Did you catch the new phrases? I asked, est-ce que le Wi-Fi est gratuit? Which is a great way to ask a yes or no question. It means, is the Wi-Fi free?
I also told him the room was au 4e étage, on the 4th floor, and I mentioned the password was sur le bureau, on the desk.
Then I asked about the pool, la piscine. I asked when it closes. Elle ferme à quelle heure? Ferme means closes.
And my answer was elle est ouverte jusqu'à 20 heures. It is open until 8 p.m. Ouverte is open, and jusqu'à means until.
Finally, when the Wi-Fi didn't work, I started with Je suis dans la chambre. I am in room to give my location before stating the problem. And Melody's reply was great. Je vais vérifier. I am going to check.
That's right. But what if you get to your room and you realize you need something extra? It's really useful to know how to ask for common hotel items.
Absolutely. A hotel is your home away from home, so you should be comfortable. Let's talk about how to ask for specific items you might need. The key phrase here is je voudrais or est-ce que je pourrais avoir, which means could I have? It's very polite.
Let's give them some vocabulary. For example, a towel is une serviette. So you could go to the reception and say, Je voudrais une autre serviette, s'il vous plaît.
And a pillow is un oreiller. Répétez, un oreiller. So, est-ce que je pourrais avoir un autre oreiller?
What about an extra blanket? That's une couverture. Une couverture. For example, il fait froid. Est-ce que je pourrais avoir une couverture supplémentaire? It's cold. Could I have an extra blanket?
That's an excellent point. It is really important to know how to ask for these things to make your stay comfortable. For example, if you need an iron, that's un fer à repasser. So you could call the reception and say, Bonjour, est-ce que je pourrais avoir un fer à repasser? Hello, could I have an iron? Okay, we've had a comfortable stay, but now it's time to leave. Let's talk about checking out of the hotel.
Whew, that was a deep dive, but you now have a really solid base for any hotel situation. Let's do a super quick recap of the most important phrases.
Okay, to check in, j'ai une réservation au nom de.
To ask for something politely, je voudrais la clé, s'il vous plaît.
To ask a question, c'est à quelle heure? for time or est-ce que for a yes-no question.
And to report a problem, start with excusez-moi, then say il y a un problème, and finally, le Wi-Fi ne marche pas.
You've done an amazing job today. These phrases can feel a little intimidating, but they are your key to navigating real-life travel situations with confidence.
Absolutely. So, what happens after we check in? Hopefully, we have a wonderful trip, but sometimes we might not feel so well.
That's right. So in our next episode, we're going to cover another very important topic, health. We'll learn how to go to a pharmacy and explain simple symptoms. It's essential knowledge for any traveler.
We can't wait to see you then. Thank you for listening and keep practicing.
Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.
Thanks for joining us on French Conversations for Beginners. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more episodes. See you next time.